before we get started properly, I'd like to ask you guys a favor,
Sure.
which is please get this movie distribution because I think people should see it.
Thank you. So honored to hear that.
I'll hold
You know,
you to that.
nothing. Even if even if you can't sell it to a big company and you have to self-produce it, get it out there because there's nothing I hate more than looking at a festival and seeing a movie and then months, years later, nobody can see it. You know.
Yeah, that's sad.
Yeah, we have a sales agent who is really enthusiastic about it, and he's already gotten a lot of interest and stuff.
Good.
Yeah.
And I would like to sit down with a DVD so I can pause it and get more.
Wow.
Well, get more of the imagery because some of it went by pretty fast.
There's a lot of layers. Somebody said it was like a Rorschach test.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Could be.
The images from the beginning come back in the end, and they're all layered over each other, different.
Yes, you
different,
do. You set up. My favorite image is. See, when we do a big write-up, I always pick a favorite image from the film, and this would be one I couldn't print because it's the nude woman with the
banana legs.
Yeah. That was
bananas and the rats.
Yeah.
Rotten bananas and rats crawling over there. That was very impressive. I also like the one where it's the nude woman combined with the banana.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
we're going for sort of a Magritte feel.
Yes, very much. Yeah, very
totally.
much so. And at the Q&A yesterday, somebody mentioned something. They kind of scooped me because I was going to ask about Doggy Woggy's Poochie Woochies.
Yes.
And whether it was an actual influence. And from your answer, actually, I wasn't clear if you saw it before you started the project or not until after.
We saw it.
You saw it before.
Yeah. We saw it, and we kind of layered that element into like the 80s analog video aesthetic, but that was one of the motivating factors.
Yeah, I mean, we're a fan of like weird outsider tape culture, and and this is everything is terrible and stuff like that.
Right.
But it did and I remembered it last night at the Q&A how that Doggy Woggy's Poochie Woochies just kind of naturally materialized in our life, like it just landed on the video van.
Well, I definitely thought of that, and I'm shocked that there's somebody else there that was familiar.
I know. I was really shocked. That's a deep cut.
We forgot that we even like took stuff from there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because it was we put it. That was like 2 years ago.
It's
or
like a
something.
straight thing because they take stuff. So
Yeah.
The whole aesthetic, the video and the over-layered stuff reminded me of it, and then the dog theme. So another movie. Now maybe this one is a little too deep, but I'm curious as to whether you guys saw this movie. It was called Even Hitler Had a Girlfriend, and it has the themes of this movie remind me a lot of that.
Wow. I've never even heard that.
Never heard
that's
that. Isn't that the
deeper,
greatest title ever?
Yeah. Wait,
I'm
what
intrigued.
year is that from?
It's probably early 90s. It's shot on video. A
Sounds
guy
awesome.
named
Yeah.
Ronnie Kramer, I believe is his name. He's also a musician.
Well, I put that on the list.
Yeah.
I looked that one up because I thought the tone was very similar.
Where is it from?
I think now it would be hard to find, probably.
Or no,
Probably
I
have
mean
to
like
order
where?
it.
Like what is it from? L.A. or like New York?
I think he's from the Pacific Northwest.
Oh, okay. Ronnie Kramer.
I believe that's his name, but it could be confusing him with another guy.
I'm a fan of memorable titles.
Yeah.
It is one of the all-time great titles. But yeah, write that down and look it up.
It's in.
It's a black comedy. It's about a overweight security guard who wastes his life savings on call girls in a week.
On what? On Call
Call
Girls?
Girls.
Oh, wow.
In a week. Wow.
Yes, and he also hallucinates and sees his father on his TV and stuff.
Nice.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah, it sounds right up our alley. Sometimes I'm almost glad we didn't see things that were too similar when we were in the trenches.
Well, also, what is the presenter's name here?
Mitch.
Mitch.
Yeah, Mitch Davis.
Mitch Davis, that's him. He introduced another film I saw, and he said something interesting, a couple of interesting things before the film. My site is Weird Movies.
Oh.
366
Oh,
Weird
great.
Movies. Weird's right in the title. As far as I know, I'm the only one in the genre, but he said that weird movies are hot now, and but that they're coming from vanilla personalities.
Yeah,
whereas
I agree with
you
that.
guys are actual. I wouldn't say, well, you know, you don't want to say weirdos and are outsiders, but you're underground kind of in the like the John Waters tradition, or
You know, it's interesting because, like, I mean, we did music videos for years, and you know, we pitched some TV shows and stuff. And I remember we pitched a TV show, and we always did weird stuff. We would not get picked for music videos because they're like, "This is too weird. This is too weird." And then like Tim and Eric stuff kind of started getting caught on, and then weird became a little bit more in the vogue. But then like when we pitched this TV show. And all of like the people, like our producers and stuff, they were like, make it a little bit more mainstream,
More accessible.
More accessible.
And then in the room, they were like, "I'm sorry, this isn't weird enough." And we were so outraged, like, to hear that.
Yeah, it was like, you can't
We've never been accused of not being weird.
oh man.
So we then actually re-edited it and made it how it was supposed to be, which is like how we like things, which is a little weird, but it's not trying to be anything. It's just trying to be stuff that we like.
Yeah, we've always had a problem with weird for the sake of weird, and
that's
it
not good.
always has to come from a thematic place that is informed by the general thesis of the movie, instead of just like, here's something bizarre that takes you off base.
All right. And in this movie, let's see how much we can discuss without spoiling it, which I think is a lot, because the title itself is a spoiler.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like John dies at the end. She's allergic to cats.
Yeah.
But I think that creates some tension, because you see these separate elements and you kind of know how they're coming together.
You know something's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like telling the punchline before the joke or something like that.
Yeah.
And in terms of the story, it's really very, very simple. Boy meets girl, boy meets cat, girl's allergic to cat. But there were some moments like, I don't know if it's because I didn't have the chance to be on DVD and run it back, but Sonia Kinski accepts the date from your character, who's named Mike Pinkney also.
Yeah, it was very meta.
Very
the
meta.
decision to make everything as authentic as possible.
It would be confusing for me to call him anything but Mike Pinkney, so that's kind of why we went with.
But rather improbably, this beautiful woman wants to go out on a date with you, and you set up a date. Then it seems like about a week of time takes place. Because I assume it's supposed to be a day, but it's like he goes to work, plays racquetball, he goes to sleep, he goes back to work, and I'm thinking, I like it because the time frame doesn't feel real, but the story's still there.
Yeah, it's like we wanted to take like almost like one day and then just chop it up and like reorganize it. So in a way that could take place in one day, but it doesn't. And I mean, it's like that moment when he asked her out, or she asked him out on a date, basically. Like that happened at an unspecified time, or maybe it didn't happen. I don't know.
That's possible.
Well, I think it's interesting to just play with, like, the movie does have a strange sense of time about it, and we kind of wanted everything to seem like this kind of extended fever dream.
Right.
Repetitive.
Where someone's trapped in this cycle they can't break out of. So the monotony kind of, and the repetition sort of hopefully fuels that theme.
Right, and I'm assuming, I hope I'm not jumping to conclusions here, but that the theme of struggling and going in place comes from you guys' experiences of trying to be creative artists in LA, where it's really, really competitive, really hard to make it, especially if you're outside the mainstream.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
We wanted to, there's that glamorous side of Hollywood that everyone sees. Even if it's a movie about a loser, it's usually shot in this, sensational way. And we wanted the aesthetic and the tone and everything to, show this underbelly of people that are striving to be known in Hollywood.
Hollywood is just synonymous with glitz and glamour and Kardashians, but Hollywood, like real Hollywood, East Hollywood, that is pretty shady, weird area that is, and I think there's certain films that have been starting to represent it kind of accurately, like Nightcrawler, I feel like captured a little bit of
Dirty
that.
Hollywood. Yeah.
But I think it's like real, and actually Tangerine
Yes,
that
yeah, I love
was
Tangerine.
all shot within like 5 blocks of my house. I got so
great.
jealous when I saw that movie because it was like Donut Time. Like I wrote a script that had Donut Time as like a central character, and when I saw it, I was like, I love this, and like I'm jealous of how amazing this is. But that movie's amazing, and that movie definitely captures Hollywood.
Well, I think there's certain parallels you can draw too. It's like, you know, you're chasing the affections of the Hollywood fame like you would almost a girl or something. It's just, you're kind of in the shadow of this all the time. You never, you know, we're still striving to kind of break out.
Still, but you made a feature film, and it's, I'd say it was probably received pretty well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, people were laughing.
Yeah, people laughed. It's very funny. It's funny. Yeah. And, you know, on Letterboxd you have 3 4-star reviews and 1 2-star review. So.
Oh, really? I didn't see any.
Well, they had to.
They're
from
starting
people at
to
last
really
night's screening already.
Cool,
Wow.
cool. 2 stars, okay, right?
Yeah.
Well, you can't.
It's a polarizing film.
There's some people that are just not going to be into it and probably wandered in by mistake.
Our parents liked it.
Your parents like.
We were surprised about that.
Yeah.
And also, somebody asked what your favorite weird films were at the last at the Q&A session, and since you know my readers won't have been there, I'd like maybe to get you to repeat your answers.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Well, I mentioned Kill the Moonlight, which is
Really rare movie I've never heard of.
Yeah, I don't even know how I stumbled across it. It's just like some weird. I think it takes place in Stockton or Fresno or Bakersfield, one of those weird kind of Central Valley oil towns in California. But it's just this weird indie movie that totally. I think it's made in '94, and it just captures like the struggle and the love of indie filmmaking that I think is kind of like lost now. I feel like people want to make movies that just please people.
There's an indie aesthetic that people go for, and it doesn't.
It's all shot on 16. It's gritty. It's dirty. It's all non-actors. And then that movie, Kill the Moonlight, there's like Beck songs in it. And then I'm a Loser, Baby has clips from that movie.
Which dates it as the 90s?
Early
93 or something.
Yeah. And
that's up there.
The other movies we were talking about was we really appreciate Zulawski and especially Possession, this strange surreal film that, you know, really explores, you know, the breakup in an almost supernatural way, and Ken Russell films just for having
Altered states for sure.
You know, so many of these strange cutaways to sort of symbolic metaphysical representations of what's going on.
Yeah.
Right. Now, Possession I don't see as a direct influence on She's Allergic to Cats. Ken Russell movies I can kind of see because of the use of montage, which were wonderful. I think how long was the ending montage there?
It was like 12 minutes.
Was
10
it
minutes.
that long?
It's like,
wow.
something
went
like
by
that.
faster.
That I think was.
But it seemed.
Ken Russell at Phase 4. Have you ever seen Phase 4? That's another one of my favorites.
I haven't seen Phase 4.
No, not Ken Russell. That's Saul Bass. Phase 4
Because
is,
I was waiting for it to be restored with the
Jupiter
original
Rising.
ending.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Jupiter Ascend.
Yeah, that period that was cut out of the end.
Yeah.
We saw a version of that at Cinefamily, and that.
Oh, you saw that at Cinefamily.
Yeah, so, and that's just, it's a sci-fi movie about ants taking over the world, and then
I actually read the book,
crazy.
but I haven't seen the movie.
The book too, really?
No, it's a novelization of the movie.
Whoa. Oh wow.
But I was there was a point where, you know, after that came out at Cinefamily, I was thinking, oh, it's going to come out on Blu-ray soon, though, with the ending, and they never did. They actually put out a Blu-ray with the original.
Really?
theatrical.
I know.
Yeah.
I saw it on Netflix even, which I didn't watch it on Netflix, but I saw that it was on Netflix. I was like, whoa, this is such like a obscure movie that's on Netflix now. That's good for Saul Bass, but.
Right. When I was talking to Joel Potricus, I think is how you pronounce his name, we talked about there being a difference between movies that inspire you and movies that influence you. You know, and he said, like, an analogy was, you know, you may be a heavy metal guitarist, and you love listening to opera, and it inspires you, but you don't actually incorporate what you learn in opera into your playing.
Yeah.
So what would be movies that were more of influences on this one? Well, are there any?
I think, okay, so inspired, Kill the Moonlight was definitely that
Kill the Moonlight
inspired,
sounds
for sure. influence, I'd say American Werewolf in London.
American
Definitely.
Werewolf.
Just because it's a horror movie, but it's a comedy, but really at its heart, it's a love story. It's a really sad,
It toggles genres.
yeah, sad and touching love story. You know, they can't be together. There's a bad moon rising.
What about more stylistically or aesthetically? Anything, or is it? It seems like a lot of it might have been drawn from music videos more than other films.
I mean, we've been sort of working in this style for a long time on our music videos, so it was something of an evolution from that, using like old 80s AV boards and things, and it just sort of I don't know, it is sort of hard to pinpoint other movies that have incorporated this.
Like
Yeah.
VHS-y glitch.
A little
Like,
bit.
I don't know if that's in
Trash
features,
Humpers.
isn't it?
Did you see Trash
Oh yeah,
Humpers?
Trash Humpers. I love. Yeah,
Had a
Harmony
lot of
Korine
that.
for sure.
Yeah, Harmony Korine was really good.
Yeah, Trash Humpers definitely, I'd say, is up there. And I heard that he wanted to take that movie and just put it on VHS tape and just drop it off at like police stations in different areas, and just that's how he wanted to distribute the movie, which I think is amazing. And I don't think it actually.
It's a good idea,
worked
but
out that well.
nobody would have seen it.
But I love that idea, and
Don't do that with your.
No, because nobody even has VCRs anymore,
Yeah.
so it would be pointless. At least back then, when the movie was, the Trash Humpers was out, more people had VCRs, but no.
Wow, that was just a few years ago, really. So.
Yeah, no more video stores anymore, really.
No, they've all died.
Yeah, it's sad.
Netflix killed the video stores, and then Netflix stopped distributing DVDs, which
Yeah.
went to streaming. So try to get a streaming deal, because that's your best bet
Yeah,
for the
that'd be
future.
great to get some exposure that way.
Yeah.
And you guys are from Los Angeles, Southern
Yeah.
California originally, or
I'm from New York originally,
New York originally?
I'm
Yeah.
from Detroit originally.
Detroit originally.
and then we went to school together in Boston,
You went to school together in Boston, and
Yeah.
then you went out to California together.
Yes.
separately.
Separately?
Yeah, he
Separately,
went to
and
San
then
Francisco
then I
first.
came out a little bit later. We directed together in college, and then started directing music videos together.
Yeah, we made weird little shorts.
And how long have you been directing music videos for? Before you started the first feature, let's say.
I mean, we still do them every now and then.
Probably about 8
14.
years.
Wow.
Wait,
13 or 14.
That's working in the trenches.
Yeah.
That's putting in your time.
And they went from, I think it was around the time the 5D came out, all of a sudden the budgets went like something you could make a living off of to like,
Yeah, we shot videos on 35.
Yeah,
and
film.
So we saw the kind of demise of that industry, where it wasn't as much of a platform you could jump off into features and everything else, and we sort of got stuck with like difficult bands and low budgets.
yeah.
The
And-
labels just coming back to us for those types of jobs over and over again.
And it's almost like it was like a bait and switch almost, because we grew up in the 90s when MTV was booming, and when awesome music video directors like Spike Jonze were making Being John Malkovich, and Michel Gondry was making Human Nature and
Right.
stuff like that, and we're like, oh my god, that's the career path that I want, but that career path evaporated just as
Things change pretty quickly, don't
quickly
they?
as it evolved.
Yeah.
So the road from music video to feature, that closed up really quickly. And I remember when I first started, like I was like interning at commercial production places, and I would tell the people who were higher up, like, yeah, I want to do music videos. And they're like, don't do music videos. Music videos are dying. No, they're not. But they were right.
Well, they're not dying as an art form, but they're dying commercially as a way to make money, I think, because of YouTube.
Yeah, it just seems like everything's a green screen video, or it's just very, by the books, and I don't know if there's any correlation between like record sales or iTunes stuff. It's just sort of like a calling card instead of the same game changer it used to be.
Yeah, and they're more disposable in a way too, like because they just can be so many places. A music video, it's out and it's dead within a week. Really, it's not relevant anymore. But they used to heart-shaped box on
Oh yeah.
MTV like that. They'd play that in rotation for months.
And we would hoard and compile all these, little bits of strange, obscure video and music videos we loved, and now, it doesn't.
Type them in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are any of your videos that you're maybe proud of up on YouTube for people to look at?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
made a Ryan Adams video with Elvira. And
Ryan Adams' video for the song was?
Give me something good.
Give me something good.
Give me something
we did
good.
a Shins video called "Turn on Me."
Shins, turn
on you. Turn on me. The Shins.
Turn on somebody.
Turn on me, I think.
Turn on me.
And then a Bad Religion video, New Dark Ages.
Oh, Yuck. We did a bunch of videos for this band, Yuck. And that was really cool working with them because they were really good music and there was like okay budgets and they literally just let us do whatever we wanted to do, and they liked the idea of weird and they liked the idea of nudity and of like offending people, and just like they let us do whatever weird shit we wanted.
Yeah, a little more avant-garde exploration.
Yeah,
of that.
and actually Yuck Holing Out, that has a lot of video glitching and video feedback stuff in that.
Right.
Put a link to that.
You guys have another interview lined up at. I just want to know how long I should go.
I don't know when. I think we're good. I think
we did start a little early, so
yeah. So we're good. We're good. Like
Yeah, I think Ryan will let us know.
Yeah, he'll let
okay,
us know.
because I
talk
did
for a while.
see. We'll get into some other things. It's really a lot of it's redundant to what was at the Q&A, but like I say,
Oh, absolutely.
nobody saw the Q&A unless they're putting it up on YouTube right now. But let's talk a little bit about the actors in the film, because there's not a lot of actors. There's Mike, and you. This was your first time acting, you say, right?
Yeah, I've acted in a web series before, all of our own stuff, and it just sort of, I was at an In-N-Out Burger one day with him, and he said, "Hey, I think,
Oh my God, yeah.
I want to, I want you to act in something." So
Wow.
I said I was really, a little bit cautious about that because I'm so used to collaborating behind the camera with him, and he just felt like he could write this part, with me in mind. It would be easier for him, and so then we took acting classes together for 2 years, which was really an eye-opening experience. Just it really changed how we write and how we direct, and
That's good, yeah.
out of that, we first did sort of a web series that, kind of cutting our teeth both on acting and just this experimental glitch style was really sort of perfected a little bit more in that project. And a good warm-up to this, similar character, and
That it was all actually a scene from the movie that was cut out at the second video store.
yeah, so then we just made that its own entity, and then this movie, it was very fortuitous because one thing we had on our side was accessibility and time, because we could reshoot anything because I was always game, and the locations were always available because it was his actual house.
Yeah. I think it chose Pinkney as the lead actor for two reasons. One, availability, and two, I don't think anybody would have felt more uncomfortable with being the star of the movie than him.
That's true. Actually, I think that kind of that discomfort, it suits the character a lot. And maybe it does come across on the screen because you're not really required to show a huge range. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I think it works pretty well. The character himself is a little flat and supposed to be a little
There's not a
pathetic.
huge arc, but I guess in some ways, there's sort of a pessimistic humor to the movie that not everybody arcs in real life.
Kind of like the reverse of Ferris Bueller. It's like Ferris Bueller if he didn't have the day off.
Ferris Bueller goes to the grind.
Yeah, Cameron's horrible adventures.
Fever dream.
Yeah.
Then, so there's not that many characters. The other next character is
Sonia?
the landlord.
Oh, Honey.
Oh, yeah.
I want to save her for last.
Yeah. Oh, Honey Davis is my actual landlord. He still is my current landlord.
Right.
I pay him rent. Actually, I didn't pay him rent this month, but I will. But yeah, he. I've lived in the same house, the house from the movie, for 9 years now, and yeah, he's just. I mean, California's weird, and it breeds weird people.
Yeah, he's like a quirky
Yeah.
guy, and he's very natural in front of the camera. I would have thought he was an actor that you hired. But
No, he's just being himself.
he's just being himself.
Yeah,
that's exactly
His
how he
answering machine message is his genuine answering machine
I
message.
think that's what his. We had him recreate his message, but that's basically what it says. Yeah, but he's like a street musician and property owner, and that's a very interesting combination.
And then the next character was the, oh boy, I forget his name. It's
Flula?
Hmm?
Flula?
Flula.
Yeah.
Lula, yes. And he, I think, was the big comic relief actor.
Yeah, he's hilarious. He's got a pretty big following, and he's coming up fast. He was just on Conan a couple weeks ago.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Oh, I did not realize.
He did a great job.
I think like Flula, like, because like the movie is kind of a comedy, but
oh,
but I,
definitely.
yeah, but like I feel like in the scenes that Flula's in, that like people actually feel like they can laugh, because sometimes you don't know if you're supposed to laugh or not.
Well, yeah, that's a good point. He's a character that tells you this is a comedy,
Yeah.
and gives you permission to laugh, whereas some of the other scenes. Although there's a scene where Mike falls in dog shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not funny in itself, but what's hilarious is the reaction of the
Tow truck driver.
the tow truck driver.
Yeah.
But Lula's very good.
Yeah, that was something we really were focused on, is like the tone, not going for just broad laughs, making sure that it's sort of so serious it's funny, and just kind of making, something that isn't in and of itself a comedy, but it's so serious that it's funny. And,
Yeah. Melodrama.
Yeah. Sort
It's
of
definitely
not
the
taking itself too
working in the
seriously.
absurd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's this is the plight of the struggling artist. I'm sure is that it's both sad and pathetic and funny when you are able to step back at it and look at how hard it is and how little the rewards are sometimes.
It's a lot
Yeah.
like dog grooming.
There's
Like
a lot
it
of
does.
like life imitating art, imitating life back and forth, because we just were working on this in a vacuum for so long without any sort of recognition, and it all just feeds into the movie.
Right. And then the last character, I don't think there are any other important characters, but was Sonia Kinski. Who,
Yeah.
Now, I was really surprised. She is Natasha's daughter
Yeah.
and Klaus's granddaughter. She looks a lot like her mother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stunningly beautiful
Especially
woman.
in cat people.
Yeah, a stunningly beautiful woman. I'm surprised that she has not been in more things, because I thought she must have been younger than she was. On IMDb, they say she's like 30 now.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's been in some stuff.
She has been in
She's
probably
been
modeling
illustrated-
Yeah.
Modeling
She's
makes sense.
done a lot of modeling in Europe. I think that hopefully this is the role that like people will kind of see her in, and
Yeah.
I think she should be like a total cult celebrity,
Oh,
like
yeah,
horror
yeah.
figure.
I don't think anybody's like fully figured out how to utilize her before.
If she's
this.
interested, but yeah, she has a star quality. In
Yeah.
the film that.
Definitely a presence. On
Yeah,
screen.
her eyes are magnetic.
I was a little surprised that you got her. It sounds like you told the story last night, so you tell it again about how she ended up
In
working
acting
the project.
class, I was doing reading sides with her, and then on her sides it just said Kinski all over them, and I was like, oh, cool, Kinski. That's like it's like my favorite actor's name. She's like, oh, that's my name. And I was like, wait, like, are you related to Klaus at all? And she's like, that's my grandfather, Natasha. That's my mother. And that was just kind of blew my mind.
It's a little tough to bring up, to overpraise her grandfather, because there's a very complicated relationship in this family, and she never met Klaus.
Mhm.
And her mother and him, like Natasha and Klaus, had a very
Falling out.
rocky backstory. So it's sort of this touchy
I think
area.
everybody in Klaus had a very
Yeah.
rocky backstory.
Yeah, I don't think he got along with anyone.
But
It definitely, there's something there genetically that translates. You can definitely see her like gears turning.
yeah, and she would do scenes in class, and they would just, she would just blow people away and surprise people too. And that's we just tried to capture that in the movie.
Well, I guess that's L.A. too. Is you can go into
yeah.
acting school and there's a celebrity or a daughter of a celebrity in class with you, and you'd never know.
Well, that's what happened with dog grooming too. Like a dog would come in, and they'd be like, "Yo, this is Brad Pitt's bulldog,"
Say it a little louder. I'm not sure. we get that.
A dog would come in, and there would be rumbles around. It's like, "This is Brad Pitt's bulldog."
Yeah, he used
And-
to talk on the phone to George Carlin.
Yeah,
his dogs.
George
Oh,
Carlin.
really? He called up himself to talk about his dog.
Yeah, Gertie and Goofy, and they would always hump each other. They were these cocker spaniels, and it's so weird. And there was, it's weird. I used to take care of Atticus Gyllenhaal. It was Jake Gyllenhaal's dog, and then I would see him in like People magazine and stuff. I'm like, I know that dog, you know?
Oh, the dog.
Yeah, the dog, not the people. Yeah. So it's LA is weird, being on the fringe.
It's hard to be like that close to all of that, you know, fame and be, you know, on the underbelly of it.
I don't think we mentioned it, but Michael, you really were a dog groomer.
Yeah.
Let's make that clear. And
was a dog groomer for 2 years and a doggy daycare technician for 2 years as well.
Technician.
Yeah, that's what I like to call myself. I worked at an indoor dog park for celebrity dogs.
For celebrity dogs.
Well, there were a lot of celebrity dogs there.
Were they acting dogs or dogs of actors?
We have 2 minutes.
Okay, good. We're about done.
They were no, they were like celebrities' dogs. Like there was Nicole Richie's dogs would go there.
This is good People magazine stuff.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, exactly. There would be Kirsten Dunst's dogs. Who's that guy? Craig Ferguson's dogs came in a lot too. Random dogs there.
So I guess the last thing probably to wrap up is we want to mention that there's some in the movie. Maybe this is a warning, but there will be some expression of anal glands in the movie, and I was not aware. I've had dogs my whole life. I was not aware that this was something that needed to be done, or that it looked the way it does.
Yeah.
When you
a little unnerving.
And I think I'm not sure who the actor was because it was just a close-up of hands. Did it without gloves. I would want to wear gloves.
You could, okay, in doggy grooming, if you wear gloves, you're a pussy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you just gotta go right in there. I didn't know about that aspect of dogs until I had to do it. But it's not that bad. It's like squeezing a zit, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh.
Dog groomers don't.
You just made it sound even grosser.
Dog groomers don't brag about that service or advertise it.
I guess there's something in every industry nobody likes to broadcast.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll let you guys get to your next one. It was nice meeting you. And
Cool.
like I
Nice to meet
say,
you.
I
Nice
really
meeting
look
you,
forward
Greg.
to seeing this on video so I can sit down and spend some more time and look at those images.
The anal
More
gland
carefully.
image?
The anal gland images. I want to play that over and over.
Then you can do it to your dogs.
Then it's like a.
Cool. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And good luck with the movie.
I'm really glad you enjoyed it.
I really enjoyed it. It's like my first discovery here.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, guys.